As we head into the home stretch of tax season, it's another reminder here that cyber criminals are working overtime to try to steal your money. And their scams are getting a lot more sophisticated thanks to artificial intelligence. Experts say cyber criminals are using AI and deepfake technology to send phishing emails and phone calls impersonating IRS agents and even tax professionals. For more on what to look out for, we want to bring in James Turgal, the vice president of the cybersecurity company Optiv. James, thank you for the time. It's good to see you. So how are cyber criminals using the power of AI to make their tax season scams even more convincing?
It's great to be here, Alex. So the threat actors now are utilizing both artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, right? The algorithms that come with that, creating what I consider these hyper-realistic phishing emails, literally using AI to craft messages at an alarming scale, right? In history, right, you got threat actors who would craft maybe 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 of these things, right? With the ability of AI, they can craft and draft these things at an alarming scale, and they're very realistic. They are hyper-realistic. There's no spelling or grammar issues, right? They have the logos that look exactly like if you went to the website, you would actually see that same logo. So utilizing this technology to create not only the emails and not only the texts, which is right phishing and smishing, but also right voice phishing, which is called vishing, and actually creating deepfake videos that actually sound like individuals from the IRS.
Yeah, talk about the premise of these deepfake videos we're talking about. In some cases, the scammers are using the technology to impersonate maybe a tax advisor, an IRS agent, and they're really kind of putting the pressure on these potential victims. How are they doing that?
Well, so you've got a number of professionals out there in law enforcement, in the IRS, right, that give press conferences, right, that are out talking to the media, right? Those are able to be captured. Threat actors are actually using artificial intelligence, voice synthesizers, and a number of different voice impersonation software to actually take those voices that they get off the web, right, and create their own text, create their own statements, and literally use them. And if people are watching the TV, right, watching the news and seeing these professionals out there, seeing these IRS agents out there or these professionals out there, they're gonna know the name. They're gonna understand. They're gonna have heard that voice before. It's very convincing.
What are the indicators that you might be receiving one of these calls, video messages that is in fact a deep fake? I mean, I know they look realistic, but there's got to be some clues that it's a deep fake.
Yeah, absolutely, right. So people need to understand that you need to interact with to interact with those voices, with that call. They'll be boxy, right? The syntax of the actual conversation won't necessarily flow as if you and I are talking right now, answering questions and talking back and forth. It'll be blocky. It'll be kind of botched in certain areas, right? And so thinking about the syntax, thinking about the actual conversation and asking them a lot of questions will really help you understand whether or not this is a deep fake call, whether it is voice synthesized. It'll actually help you kind of think through if this is real or not.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they want to put a lot of pressure on
Yes.
people to make mistakes. People feel like, tax season, a lot is on the line here. People are feeling stressed, and they want people to make mistakes and sign up for something. Let me also ask you about another thing that we're seeing attackers doing during tax season, and that is essentially sort of constructing fake identities using stolen online data. What is the strategy that they're using to submit fraudulent returns, and how often are they actually successful at claiming illegitimate refunds?
Well, Alex, they're doing it in a multiple different ways, but here are the two major ones. They're actually utilizing dark web data that has been hacked from other different actions, right? So you get dark web data, social security numbers, email addresses, personal PII, as we call it, right? They're actually using that data to attempt to create both tax returns and all types of IRS forms, right? So to actually create a fake persona to attempt to get refunds and other monies back from the IRS. They're also flooding the system, flooding the IRS electronic system with thousands of forms, right? Thousands of tax forms, thousands of W-9s, right? All of this trying to, basically flood the system so that you would get, right? The IRS can't process it, and some of those get through.
Yeah, and that's it. That's what they do, kind of flood the zone, especially this time of year. Yeah, you have to question everything and be extra careful during tax season, especially. James Turgal, Vice President of Cybersecurity for Optiv. Good to have you on. Thank you, James.